Go. Oh, yay.
We
It's
did
always so fun to be with you here, Zoe. I love the conversation we've already had, and I know I'm going to love the conversation we're about to have
it.
because, whoa,
Yes.
this is, I mean, one of the things we were talking about is how in 2020, what was going on in 2020? And of course, COVID, lockdowns, everything started to shift and change. We had the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. It was exact 3 times. Oftentimes, Jupiter and Pluto come together only once. But back in 2020, it was 3 times.
Hmm.
So I think we got an extra heavy dose of that in Capricorn. And basically the deconstruction or the disassembly of all of the old structures so that something new could come in. And it takes time. So we're still in that process of experiencing the deconstruction or the disassembly of what has been. But I think we're also beginning to see what's possible and available. And I think we could see it back then too, but maybe not. It wasn't as clear. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And of course Jupiter's always about being visionary and dreaming the impossible dream and what's next, what can happen next. But first the old has to come down before the new can come in. So those seeds were planted way back in 2020. And here we are in 2026 coming up on a annular solar eclipse for the new moon on February 17th. Now, for those who don't know, an annular eclipse is like a total solar eclipse, but the moon is far enough away from the earth, it doesn't completely cover the sun and it leaves a ring of fire around the sun is like, this blazing ring of fire, which is very alchemical. It's like there's this cauldron of energy and we can see the fire around the center of the cauldron that's happening. And so we've got that happening. It also happens to be the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. So more fire, the ring of fire eclipse, the fire horse. The fire horse is, they say I've been reading about this and it says that the fire horse are years that are often disruptive. And a lot of things happen that they weren't anticipating because you can't control that energy. It's like you're on a runaway horse. So it's going where it wants to go. It's taking you where it wants to go. And sometimes we just need to trust that is where it's taking you is exactly where we want to go. We just don't know it yet. And it's an Aquarius, so we have the very visionary, cosmic perspective of Aquarius, seeing things from the eagle's eye view, seeing things from a broader perspective. It's not a narrow, not narrow point of view. It's a very broad perspective, very innovative. The challenge with Aquarius energy can be that it doesn't, it's like there's no shadow. It's only love and light. That we could say that could be the shadow side. It's like, no, there is a shadow. And your shadow is that you only see love and light, and there's other things going on. And we have this eclipse that is the moon with the black, the black cauldron of the moon covering the face of the sun, creating this wild portal of energy that we can step through into. Hopefully, we choose a new reality and we don't choose the old one. Hopefully, we are ready for a new reality and we're not just going to keep doing the same thing because I'm so done with that and I'm so bored with that. And I bet you are too. So,
So boring.
yeah. And okay, so not only that, on this day of the eclipse, Venus is technically visible in the evening sky she's been in the underworld since November or
Hmm.
December. And then she's moving up into the evening sky. Now, not everybody will see her because you have to have a low horizon line and she's far away from the Earth. She's coming out from the other side of the sun, so she's not always easy to see. Um, but the next night, there will be a crescent moon occulting Mercury, which is like an eclipse over Mercury,
Hmm.
amplifying the energy. So we have this eclipse happening that amplifies. the intentions and the whole alchemical thing that's happening with that. And then we have the moon the next day occulting. It's going to conjunct Venus, but we won't see it because it'll be in the early morning hours. And then that night we'll see the moon above Venus. It'll kind of point to where Venus is in the sky, so you might be able to see her in the red glow of the sunset. And then the moon occultation, for a lot of people will see the occultation in the southern states of the United States, but other people will see a very close conjunction. They'll see Mercury and then that crescent moon very close. They won't necessarily see the occultation. Well, I'm going to back up to the 17th and also say, as Venus is emerging into the evening sky, she is exactly conjunct the North Node. And the North Node has to do with our destiny. And this is the divine feminine rising up in this eclipse energy, in this portal of eclipse energy in the fire horse year, I like beginning of the fire horse year with the North Node. And this does not happen very often. And in fact, you have to go back 251 years to see Venus emerging into the evening sky on February 17th, 1775. But it was the South Node and it wasn't exact.
Mm.
So, and it wasn't an eclipse either. So this is like, whoa, so amazing. And then if we look at what happened last year in 2025, Venus was with this North Node in Pisces three times in February and twice in April. This is the fourth time Venus is meeting with the North Node in Pisces
Mm.
in this cycle or in this time frame. And that won't happen again until 2081 and 2082. Now, Venus will meet with the North Node in Pisces every 18 and a half years because, but it won't do it three or four times. This is like
Mm.
big deal. So it's like the divine feminine has been activating our ability to move to our destiny, our divine destiny. The fire horse is going to take us there. The eclipse cauldron is going to take care of anything that's in the way of that. This is such a magical, amazing, powerful window. And then it will close on March 3rd with a total lunar eclipse.
Mm.
Like, oh, okay. So we have this 2 week window that's opening on February 17th portal. It's like this massive portal. And it's a Virgo full moon eclipse, total lunar eclipse. So the high priestess, the sacred feminine, in her high priestess expression, is that full moon. So
Mm.
this is just, it's like the divine feminine energy. And we all have feminine energy within us. I don't care how you identify, man, woman, not any binary, whatever you call yourself, whatever you think you are, or feel you are, or experience yourself as, we all have feminine, masculine energy within us.
Mm.
So, and it's time for her to rise, to emerge. She's rising up from the underworld. She's emerging from the underworld at this time, and in Pisces. So it's all about what do we need to heal, and having compassion for ourselves and all life. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited to see what the cards have to say, Zoe, about all of this because whoa. I mean, this is really a once in a lifetime kind of thing, a once in many lifetimes kind of thing.
Well, one of the things I started seeing in my mind's eye when we started talking about this, and it became clearer as you were sharing all of the astrological happenings, is this tug of war. And so I'm going to do two readings because we know for those of us that played tug of war as young people or even older people, you have one side, right? And you have the other side. And so this is a time of extremes. So the collective is in a tug of war. And so what I was seeing is there's people in the middle of those two extremes. And
Yes.
they're like, where am I? What's happening? What should I do? So that's the first message I want to do is for the people who find themselves in the middle and they don't exactly know where they're going. So they might know where they want to go, but they don't know how to get there. So if you find yourself in the middle of these extremes, this is for you. What do you say for people who are in the middle right now? Oh, okay. I like that. Oh, okay. I like that. Ah, okay. 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 All right. So, people in the middle, you are not wrong. You are not away from your mind. Okay. You are being asked, the clarity is coming. This is a time of new awakenings. It's not your imagination. Because if you're straddling the fence, we usually straddle the fence because we're in a place of fear. So, do I move forward to what's coming, the future I can't see, the now that I can't see, the now that I want? But again, I think it's my imagination. So, I'm going to just like linger over here in the old. The issue is the paradigm is shifting. You can't you can't be neutral on a moving train, okay? Shout out to Howard Zinn, right? So it's not your imagination. You are being called to move. How do we know that this is not a time? It's always time for neutrality. However, when the train is moving, you can't be neutral. And so if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling blocked, here we are with the sun upside down, right? So it's not going to get you where you want to go. Doing the same old things is not going to get you where you want to go. Okay. Your body might make you move, right? If you're trying to stay stuck. Your job situation might make you move. Like if we don't move, we will be pushed. People in the middle. Okay. If you choose the mission, this is your mission if you choose to
You
accept it.
decide to accept
Choose to
this
accept it.
impossible mission.
Yes. What is waiting for you, quote unquote, on the other side is new friends, new family, new opportunities, a true sense of belonging, of being accepted as you truly are.
Ooh, I love that.
So look for signs and synchronicities, okay? You might hear a message today that confirms this message. You might hear something in a song. You might hear something in a conversation. So just pay attention today and up until that new moon for signs. Look for signs and synchronicities. If you don't know which way to go, look for signs and synchronicities that can take you there. Okay? That's for folks in the middle.
And perhaps the signs and synchronicities are also confirming something for you, because that can happen too. Like you're thinking, "Ooh, I should move this way," and then you're thinking, and then you see a sign, and it's like, "Yes, definitely move that move that way." Yeah.
Mhm. So for folks who are on the other side of the extreme, who are like completely down the rabbit hole, they're like all into everything Cayelin and I are throwing down. Okay, what can you expect? Okay, interesting. So you may be all in with the woo-woo train and what's coming, but you're still in a space of fear. So we have be bold and make the first move in reverse. So you may want to move. You may be like, yes, I'm with y'all, but I'm afraid. This moon, this Aquarius moon, it's like kind of be like an Aquarius, right? Be kind of futuristic. Take a chance. Be innovative. Look where you
Be
can.
ahead of your time,
Yeah, exactly. Ahead of your time. Everybody else is late,
right?
right? And here it is again, full moon in Aquarius. Show the world who the real you.
Ah, beautiful.
It's amazing if you're a genius, but a genius in your room, it's not helpful. So,
It's not changing the world.
that's right. So
It's not creating
literally,
innovation and
yeah,
leading us into new ways of being and
yeah,
experiencing and expressing.
we need
Yeah.
you. The moon. I mean, literally, it's a full moon, but still, it's Aquarius has shown up in its own reading to say, join us.
Yeah.
The world needs you, right? It's time. It's time. It's
I love
time
that.
for you to assist with these crumblings of institutions, with this hierophant here, these outdated beliefs. Okay. It's time for you to be a part of that. It's time for you to be a part of this new awakening that is happening. So join us.
And trust that it's going to be more amazing than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I have.
That's what you have? Oh my gosh, that is so good. One thing that I've been thinking too is we could say that Aquarius and Pisces, because Venus is in Pisces and the North Node is in Pisces, and this is all about this is a North Node eclipse, and so it's taking us towards our destiny, divine destiny. They both would agree that love is the most important thing. And Aquarius would say, universal love, it's a great idea. Because
Yes.
it's more mental, right?
Yes.
It's not necessarily a felt thing. Pisces would say, yes, universal love, and we feel it in our heart. We feel it in our body. We feel it in our being. And so it feels like another thing that we could be energizing as we are entering this portal is universal love. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for the world, love for the cosmos, love for the universe.
Mhm.
Universal love for everything.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
the other thing I just heard, and maybe there's something astrological about this, Cayelin, but every now and then I'll get this message about certain time periods where it's like it's not the time to argue with people. And that's this time. This isn't the time to like try to bully people with your beliefs because you might say something that can't be taken back. So this is kind of the time to just sit back because look, we got the magician in reverse. It's going to be wasted energy anyway. Not the
Yes.
time for road rage, not the time for, it's just like, it's just not the time
Or
to
try to
be
convince someone,
volatile.
yeah, that your perspective is the right one. I actually got that very clearly when I was in my 20s, and
Oh,
there were I think they were Mormons, and they were knocking on people's doors, and they were trying to like convince you that you should become a Mormon. And I had my own spiritual path already by that time. And so I was like, and I was trying to like give them some other ideas of what maybe they could think. And they were so not interested. I was
mhm.
like, wow, I just wasted my time with that. I should have just said thank you for sharing and been done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've I've started saying that's an interesting way of looking at things. And just to round it out, just to like round out the conversation, we end with the Six of Wands on what? A horse. So again, now is not the time for vitality. It's not the time to be trying to drive your points home with people. Maybe around Aries season. I don't know why, but there's a more opening, but it's just not now. Just
Yeah, I know. That's it.
just
Yeah.
close your mouth.
I agree. I agree so much. And really we want to focus on ourselves. We want to focus on what we're choosing, what we're intending, what we're how we're being part of the greater collective to honestly, I feel like love changes everything. Love heals everything. Love is the answer to everything. So if we can just focus on how we are loving ourselves first,
Yeah,
loving ourselves first, and then whatever else happens, we are putting love into the world, and
yeah,
that's changing the whole vibrational energy of the world. When there's enough of us to do it, it will change everything in an instant.
that's right.
Yeah. So that's our opportunity. I think that for me, that's going to be the big intention. It's always the big intention. I actually found that I was writing about that when I was 21. It's all about love. I was like, oh, I've been preaching this to myself for many, many years.
Yeah,
So anyway, that's I feel and because definitely because Aquarius and Pisces would agree, love is important. They just might have a different way of experiencing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, so this is awesome. I'm so excited about what we've shared. And I do have a short video, 21-minute video on the Aquarius eclipse new moon. If you want to see that, it has the images and things that you can tune into. And what an annular solar eclipse is, if you want a little, it's like a 7-minute video on that. And Zoe, you were mentioning that you did
Mm,
a ceremony or a ritual on something, so
I
that we can put
did.
that in the show notes too. So say what that is.
Yeah, so I did a ritual for the new moon and for the day before. So, a releasing ritual since we're still in the full moon energy, the day before that full moon, and then a ritual for the new moon and Aquarius. And the ritual is how to use tarot. So for people who actually use tarot, because I incorporate tarot into my rituals. So I'm walking you through how to do a cord cutting ritual with tarot.
I love that. So we're cutting the cords of the past so we can be open and present to move to the future, move to the future.
Yes,
That,
yes.
that's brilliant. That's
And
brilliant.
that last moon, that last quarter of the moon before we go into the full moon is the strongest time to do those types of banishing rituals. So that's why I'm doing it the day before.
Cool. So I'll put that link in the show notes. You'll put my links in the show notes. So
Yes.
whichever
Yes.
version of it you're watching,
Yes, you'll get
you,
it.
you can get that.
Yeah.
And it's such a great way to prepare for
Yeah.
this massive energy it's already on us. It's already, and one thing I didn't mention is Saturn, Neptune, zero Aries point exact on February 20th, but on February 17th, they're both at the zero Aries point, just some different minutes. So we're already, and by February 13th, Saturn comes back into Aries. And so we're already in that energy as we are approaching the the new moon. And so this is the time to let go of the old so we're ready for the new.
Let it
So
burn away. Ring of fire. I kept hearing that Johnny Cash song. Let it burn away.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
burn away the old, let the old burn away.
Yeah. Love that. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. All right, so hopefully that's helpful as we go into this powerful time of transformation, total transformation, I feel like it could be. And stay tuned, and we'll be back with whatever's happening next.
Absolutely. See you
All
soon.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.